People come to me and say, Sadhguru, I'm tired all the time. I don't know why. Even when I sleep, I wake up feeling like I've run a marathon. I smile because what they are experiencing is not physical fatigue, it is existential friction. You must understand this. Energy is not something you need to collect like coins. It is not stored in banks or drained like phone batteries. Energy is the basis of life. The very fact that you are alive means that energy is available to you in abundance. If you are conscious, if you are aligned, energy is not something you have to look for, it simply flows effortlessly. The real issue is not lack of energy. The real issue is the leaks in your system, emotional entanglements, mental clutter and psychological resistance. These are the things that drain you, not life, not work, not people. You are not exhausted because you are doing too much. You are exhausted because you are holding too much. That does not belong to you. You see, if you hold your hand in the air for 5 minutes, it's easy. 10 minutes, still okay. An hour, it begins to hurt. 2 hours, it's unbearable. Did the hand get heavier? No, you just held it too long. In the same way, you're not tired because life is heavy. You're tired because you've been holding on for too long. Thoughts, opinions, expectations, identities, they are not the problem. Your attachment to them is, if I ask you to walk through the forest for 2 hours, you'll enjoy it. You'll breathe the fresh air, listen to the birds. But if I ask you to carry a 50-kilogram backpack full of rocks during that same walk, now it's not joy anymore, it's suffering. Carrying makes the difference. Most people are carrying rocks in their head and wondering why life feels so hard. You are not exhausted because your energy is limited. You are exhausted because your entanglements are unlimited. People think they need more energy drinks, more sleep, more motivation. What you need is less friction, less inner resistance, less junk in your mind. You don't need to push harder. You need to drop what you are not. You wake up in the morning already tired. Not because your body is failing, but because your mind has been running all night solving problems that don't exist. Your mental chatter consumes more fuel than any physical task, and yet it solves nothing. It just loops endlessly, like a bad soap opera. A simple example, suppose someone says something unpleasant to you in the morning. The words last 2 seconds, but the replay in your head, that continues for 2 days. The incident took 2 seconds of life, but you gave it 48 hours of your attention. Who is exhausting you? Them. It is not what happens to you that drains you. It is your reaction to what happens. It is your inability to let things pass, your need to analyze, interpret, label, defend, fight, prove. This is what is draining the vitality out of you. A leaf does not struggle to fall, a river does not struggle to flow. But the human mind struggles to simply be, and in that struggle, we lose our natural exuberance. People ask me, "Yes, Sadhguru, how do you travel so much, speak for hours, work 18-hour days and never look tired?" I tell them, it's not because I'm superhuman, it's because I don't carry psychological garbage. When you are not internally entangled, your energy is free to do what is needed. You're simply available to life, there is no depletion, there is only action. Let me give you a small practice. Try this for 1 day, just 1 day. Don't form an opinion about anything. No judgment, no interpretation. Just see things as they are. You will notice an enormous surge of energy within you, because judgment is a massive drain. Every opinion you form becomes a filter between you and reality, and maintaining that filter takes energy. To keep a grudge alive, you must replay the past again and again. That takes energy. To maintain a false identity, you must constantly protect it from cracks. That takes energy. To live up to expectations you never agreed to in the first place, that takes energy. Most people are not tired because life is hard. They're tired because they're fighting reality. They want life to be their way, and when it's not, they resist. But resistance is expensive. It costs you joy, peace, health, and yet it achieves nothing. The wave never fights the ocean. The tree never argues with the wind, but the human… We are always in conflict with others, with ourselves, with life itself. Energy is not something you manufacture, it is your natural state. Look at a child, look at how alive they are. Nobody teaches them how to be joyful. That vitality is not learned, it is not imported, it is natural. What you call adulthood is not maturity, It is the slow death of that natural energy through conditioning, through anxiety, through self-inflicted nonsense. And then after killing our aliveness, we say, I need more energy. No, you don't need more energy. You need to stop poisoning the source. Let me tell you something profound. If you don't mess with yourself, you'll be supremely alive. That's all it takes. You don't need to meditate for 10 years. You don't need to chant mantras all day. If you simply stop interfering with your own inner nature, vitality will flood your system like spring water. But you have become your own obstacle. You overthink, you overanalyze, you over-identify with your thoughts, your labels. You are trying to run forward while dragging 50 anchors behind you. It's not that you lack energy, you're just tangled up. What you call I is not just your body. It's a complex mess of ideas, labels, roles and memories. This tangle consumes most of your energy. But the deeper you, beneath all that is pure presence. That presence doesn't get tired, it doesn't complain. It just is, still, silent, infinite. If you learn to operate from that space, not your history, not your opinion, but your presence, then you will see life moves with effortless grace. Then whether you are working, walking or simply sitting, you are radiant. But we've moved too far from this natural way of being. You don't rest when you sleep, you rest when you are not at war with yourself. Most people are fighting 24 hours a day, fighting to be liked, fighting to be respected, fighting to stay relevant, but what is the point of all this struggle if it leaves you drained and joyless? The sun doesn't struggle to shine, the flower doesn't struggle to bloom, but the human mind is always struggling to become something, to prove something, to defend something. It is this psychological drama that drains your vitality, not life itself. You need to realize that your energy is sacred. It is not infinite in this body. Use it wisely. Don't spend it on guilt, comparison, grudges and gossip. Use it for awareness, for creation, for love, for presence. There is a saying in yoga, where attention goes, energy flows. If your attention is on fears, insecurities and regrets, your energy flows into black holes. But if your attention is on life, on the present, on the vastness of now, your energy returns to you 100. The mind, if untrained, becomes a parasite. It eats your aliveness, but the same mind, if aligned, becomes a conduit. It brings clarity, focus and joy. This is why in yogic science, we don't try to motivate the mind, we aim to transcend it. Try this, sit silently, watch your thoughts, don't resist. Just observe, you will notice something miraculous. The more you observe, the more they slow down. The more they slow down, the more energy you feel returning to your system. Because attention is energy. And when that attention is no longer hijacked by useless thought loops, it comes back home to you. This is the essence of meditation, not to add anything but to subtract the noise. When the noise reduces, your true nature begins to shine. That nature is vibrant, that nature is radiant, that nature is never tired. Life is not exhausting, your resistance to life is. Your body is not weak, your entanglements are. You are not tired. Seek less interference, less resistance, less holding on. Let go of your stories. Let go of needing to be seen a certain way, and you will find your breath deepens, your eyes brighten, your step lightens, your life begins to feel like a dance again. The earth spins effortlessly, the stars blaze without strain. And you, dear human, you are made of the same cosmic dust. You are not meant to crawl through life in fatigue. You are meant to soar. But to do that, you must first empty the backpack. You must drop the baggage of old emotions, tired narratives and borrowed beliefs. Only then will you see the energy was never gone. It was simply waiting for you to get out of your own way. These days, everyone is chasing motivation. People think if they read one more book, hear one more speaker, attend one more seminar, something magical will happen, and suddenly they will become inspired, disciplined, successful. I ask them, what are you trying to motivate? Because if what you are doing does not naturally arise from within you, then no amount of external stimulus can sustain it. You don't need motivation, you need alignment. Motivation is like lighting a matchstick in the wind. It blazes for a moment, gives you a brief flash of excitement, and then it disappears. Again you strike another match, again it burns, again it goes out. This is how most people live. They run on borrowed fire. But alignment, that is like lighting a lamp inside a temple. It stays lit undisturbed by the wind. 'cause it is protected by the structure of your being. Once you are in alignment, life flows through you not as struggle but as song. What do I mean by alignment? When your thoughts, emotions, energy and actions are all pointed in one direction, like the different horses of a chariot running in sync, then your life moves effortlessly. Most people are trying to go north while facing south. They desire one thing, but they speak another. They feel one thing, but act against it. They pray for peace but live in conflict. Naturally, life becomes exhausting, not because you are incapable, but because you are disorganized within yourself. Look at a river. It doesn't need motivation to… It moves with clarity and power because it is aligned with gravity. It is not questioning its purpose or comparing its speed with a neighboring river. It just flows naturally, fully, without friction. If you are aligned with your inner nature, you too will move with the same grace. But if you are fragmented within, even the simplest task becomes a burden. Have you noticed when you are truly joyful, you don't need someone to push you. You wake up excited, you work with intensity, you laugh, you move, you breathe deeply. Nobody has to light a fire under you. Because joy is a sign of alignment. It is not the result of achievement, it is the basis of real success. Motivation is for people who have not yet tasted what it means to be lit from within. It is like someone who is cold, constantly looking for firewood from outside. But once you know how to build a fire inside, you are no longer dependent on the weather. The problem is, we are taught to chase results without understanding ourselves. We are told, get up, be productive, achieve. But if your body wants to rest, your mind is distracted, your emotions are tangled, your energy is low, then what you achieve is stress, not success. When your inner instrument is out of tune, playing the music of life becomes a painful effort. Let's say you want to be fit. Every morning you tell yourself, I must exercise. You watch motivational videos of people lifting weights, running marathons. You feel a spark for a day or two, but by the third day, that spark is gone. Why? Because the desire came from your intellect, but your body, emotions and energy were not included in the decision. You were motivated, you were not aligned. But if you go deeper and ask yourself, why do I want to be fit? And you touch the truth within that says, because I want to live fully, I want to be capable, I want to enjoy this body that was given to me. Then a deeper force is awakened. Now your body begins to cooperate. Your emotions support it, your energies rise to meet the moment. Now going to the gym is not a burden, it becomes a celebration of life. This is the difference between dragging yourself and being drawn by something real inside you. Alignment is not about discipline in the strict sense. It is about discovering what resonates with the very core of your being. Once you find that, you will do what needs to be done, not because someone told you, not because you are afraid of failure, but because it feels like breathing. It feels natural. Just observe nature. A bird doesn't need motivation to sing at sunrise. A tree doesn't need inspiration to grow. They are aligned with the rhythm of existence. But the human being, with all his intelligence, has forgotten how to be. We are motivated by fear, shame, comparison. That's why our actions are inconsistent, full of friction, and often leave us empty. I often say, don't look for inspiration, look for clarity. If you are clear about who you are and what you want to experience in this life, then action will naturally follow. You will not need pep talks. You will not need reminders. You will simply move in the direction of your inner compass. But without clarity, motivation becomes an addiction. You keep needing it again and again. It becomes like a drug, you get a high and then you crash. In yoga, we speak of four fundamental dimensions within you: body, mind, emotion and energy. If these four are not in alignment, suffering is inevitable. Let's say your body wants rest, your emotions are wounded and your energy is dull. In that state, no motivational quote will save you. You may force yourself to act, but you will burn out. Instead, if you align these four, your body is strong, your mind is clear, your emotions are balanced, your energy is vibrant. Then what you do be full of grace and power. How do you achieve this alignment? Not by controlling everything, but by becoming more conscious. Consciousness brings alignment. It's like driving a car. If you're asleep at the wheel, you may crash even if the road is straight. But if you're fully alert, even a bumpy road becomes navigable. Similarly, the journey of life does not need to be smooth for you to travel well. It just requires that you are fully awake inside. One of the greatest tragedies is that most people are fighting themselves every day. Their desires and their fears are in conflict. Their dreams and their doubts are pulling them in opposite directions. Naturally, they are tired. But when you are aligned, there is no conflict inside you. Everything is working together like a well-oiled machine. Then even if you work for 20 hours a day, there is no burnout, because you are not divided within. Let me ask you this, have you ever been so immersed in something that time disappeared, fatigue disappeared, even hunger disappeared? In that moment, were you motivated? No, you were aligned. And in that alignment, you are more alive than ever. That state is available to you always, not through force, but through inner harmony. Alignment does not mean that everything in life will go your way. It means no matter what happens, you are not split, you are… That oneness within you is the source of real power. You cannot control all situations, but you can align yourself in such a way that no situation breaks your inner structure. Let's take an example. Suppose you want to be a great artist. If you're aligned, you will not be painting to impress others or to gain fame. You will paint because it is your way of touching the divine. Every brushstroke becomes prayer, every color becomes an offering. In that state, even if no one sees your art, you are fulfilled. This kind of inner alignment is what makes human beings extraordinary. You, not achievements, but the spirit behind the action. So don't ask, how do I stay motivated? Instead ask, what am I truly aligned with? If your work, your relationships, your habits, your thoughts are not in alignment with your deeper self, then life becomes hard. But once you are aligned, even challenges become playful. People ask me, "SADHGURU, what drives you?" I say, nothing. I am not driven, I am not pushed. I am just aligned, so life moves through me, not against me. There is no friction, because there is no resistance. When you stop resisting your own nature, a tremendous explosion of life happens within you. You don't need someone to shout